I think there is some technical issue, like we are exiting and again I'm logging in. Yeah, is voice audible, sir? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you all to the last session of our 2-week faculty development program on transforming education, integrating OBE and NEP 2020. Today's session is on instructional design. Now, I welcome Professor Dr. P.S. Rama Srikant, sir, to start the session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It
So,
is good, sir.
visible, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, a very good noon to all of you. And welcome to the last session of instructional design. So, my session will be roughly around 1 hour, 15 minutes or so, because post that the closing ceremony is there. So, let's go through the presentation straight. So, today's topic is on instructional design. So, before we delve into what instructional design deals with, let us have a quick recap on why we have to deal with this instructional design. So we had uh, uh, 5 sessions roughly discussion on NEP, different aspects of NEP for elementary education, high school education, so many things we have seen. So in the context of that, or in the backdrop of that, how does this instructional design fit into the overall theme? See, NEP key objectives, if at all you look into, it speaks of flexibility. It speaks of no hard separation between the disciplines, like multidisciplinarity education. It speaks of, right? It speaks of holistic education. It speaks of experiential and understanding learning. It speaks of multilingualism, the critical thinking and creativity, and then Indian knowledge system. These are some of the aspects, the key aspects, what we have, key objectives of NEP. So how are we going to achieve all this? How are we going to achieve all this? Is the question. All right. So it's a step-by-step process. We need to achieve it by a step-by-step process. Right? So if it is a step-by-step process, what is the first step? Can anyone uh, make a guess? Can be a wild list of the guess, never mind. What's the first step? So many things are there in NEP 2020, right? To be achieved, research has to be achieved, critical thinking has to be inculcated in the students, holistic development should be there, all right? Languages part is there. Yes, so many things are there. What is the first step? Someone in the chat window probably has given a response.
No, sir. Even I am waiting.
Okay, fine. So, yes, then let's move forward. The first step is design a great curriculum, because everything has to fit into this curriculum. How are you going to realize NEP? How a student is going to realize NEP? The holistic, you are speaking of holistic education. Students should get an experiential learning. Students should get exposure to multilingualism. Students should get exposure to given the opportunity of flexibility. Where the students will get all this? So your plate should be served with multiple options. So that's a design curriculum, your menu. When you go to a hotel, there's a big menu, right? So you need to design a great curriculum. So this is where. So then what is the last step? This is the first step. So what's the last step? First step is curriculum design. Last step is also curriculum design. So from beginning, end, and middle, it's all curriculum design. You should have a proper curriculum. Only then, at all stages, from beginning to end and the middle, the goals of NEP can be achieved. So this is where this today's discussion falls in place, right? Because we have seen the lofty goals of NEP 2020. They don't want normal colleges anymore. They want all the colleges to be degree awarding institutions. They want to give autonomy, right? In administration, they want to give autonomy to in academics, not just for colleges. Even faculty should have the flexibility, the autonomy in creating their own syllabus, right? So that degree it speaks of, right? So all this is achieved by designing a curriculum. So let us look into a few terms: instructional design, instructional technology, learning experience design, curriculum design, instructional system design. These terms are sometimes used interchangeably because uh, there are minor variations in the technical if you speak, but in overall sense, they point towards only one goal. They point towards only one goal, right? The design of curriculum, right? So now let us see the fundamental definitions of instructional design. So instructional design is defined as a systematic process that is employed to develop education and training programs in a consistent and reliable fashion. Second definition, instructional design is the systematic development of instructional specifications using learning and instructional theory to ensure the quality of instruction. It is the entire process of analysis of learning needs and goals and the development of delivery system to meet those needs. Instructional design, also known as instructional system design, is the analysis of learning needs and systematic development of instruction. Right? Instruction means delivery of class. It can be delivery of a course. It can be delivery of a curriculum. Now, let us look into a brief history of instructional design. I will not spend much time on this. So the emergence of instructional design, it has begun in World War II, right? Where different countries, primarily they have to, because most of the army were recruited without any prior notice. People were dying, so untrained people were brought into it, the army all of a sudden, and they need to go and stand in the war front. So at least some basic training is required. So the emergence of instructional design as an academic subject and profession came about through a combination of other disciplines. One is behavioral science, the other one is military training practices, which these both got embedded, and we have now studying it as a subject, right? So now Skinner studies in behavioral science. So when the military soldiers, they were given a set of instructions, their ability to understand, execute those instructions was found to be different among different people at different times of a day. Different interpretations were also there by different group of people. And there cannot be any personalized training. There is a mass training. A large volume of instructions are printed and distributed to the people. So now what they observed is the training somehow is not effective. So then they tried to identify what's the best way of giving these instructions so that it can be implemented in a best way, in a timely manner. So then they took the help of B.J. Skinner's studies of behavioral science of breaking down tasks. Instead of giving a set of instructions in a given paragraph, they started sequencing it down, breaking it down. So what is the overall big picture? Just like an experiment, what we see, there is an aim, there is an observations, then there is, I mean, procedure, then the apparatus, what is required, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they started breaking it down, right? So then this practice became so a norm in educational system. So it's not that you just give instruction any way you want. There is a proper breaking down of the task which gives the best learning experience, because the soldiers there have to learn something. They have to learn something there and then put it into practice in a very short span, right? So the same thing was transferred to business, the same thing, the same philosophy was transferred to education, right? Even now we see the instruction leaflet of any book, I mean any machine, if we see, instructions are 1, 2, 3, 4, very simply, easily laid down, and the instructions are organized in a sequence. It's not that in a random way. 1, 2, 3, they are connected. So let us see how the things are. So overall, if you see the instructional design or curriculum design, it discusses of three primary aspects. One is the design of the curriculum itself, then development of it, and then the delivery of it. These are the three aspects of the learning experiences. This is what instructional design speaks of. So instructional design is a systematic process of creating learning experience, materials, and resources. Okay. So now the uh, instructional design part. As I mentioned, the curriculum design is a very important aspect of this. So what is the curriculum design? It is an essential process for educators to ensure that students receive a comprehensive and effective education. They should have a comprehensive and effective education. So what does it involve? You need planning, you need development, you need implementation. Right? So all the colleges moving down the line, maybe 5 years or 10 years down the line, we have to completely revamp our curriculums to achieve the lofty goals of NEP. So now let us understand the instructional design basics. So what do we do in instructional design? The first step before you create a curriculum, or analyze learners' needs and goals, create a system to meet those needs. Underline the word system. You're creating a system to meet those needs. Underline the word system. System is a very important. So when you speak of system, it speaks of design, development, delivery. All these three things. Second, the screen got stuck up. The screen got stuck up. One second. Yes. So, sorry, there is a screen stuck up. Yeah, helping people learn better and improving program quality. Right. So, two things are a point of focus: creating a system and improving program quality. Right. So, for that, what you need to create and organize the content through learner's lens, not through the teacher's lens, not through the instructor's lens. It has to be through the learner's lens. Means we need to empathize with the learner. We need to understand their demographics. We need to understand their background, right? So what kind of quality of students come to my college? What kind of quality of students go to some other college? The quality of students who come to research intensive universities is different from the quality of students who come to teaching intensive students. The quality of students who go into IIT is different, NIT is different, different kind of technical institutes. The overall quality is different, right? So the curriculum is the same for everybody. The question paper is same for everybody. let us say say a JNTU pattern or whatever it is. There are 150 colleges. There are certain top colleges where you got a very extraordinary creamy layer of students. So university colleges. There are certain colleges hardly now for 60 students, 10 or 20 seats are filled. All the students are assessed on a single question paper. The curriculum is same for everybody. So this will not be an enriching experience. The learning experience will not be very palatable for the students in all the colleges. The kind of electives, the kind of internships, what are needed are different across different domains, different colleges. So now the colleges doesn't have a freedom to cater that, right? So moving forward, as NEP implementation unfolds, probably that will be the piece of cake for everybody to enjoy it. But before that, the universities, the autonomous colleges, they should be ready for the change. So this is an attempt to be ready for the change. So encouraging better use of skills. So now a person's ability to learn new skill is largely determined by the instruction they receive. How he is going to learn is based on the instruction. Instruction means the curriculum, everything, the subject, everything, how everything is designed and how they receive it. So now, so what is the learning experience? So learning experience, it constitutes everything which get transferred from a teacher to a student. Let us be more from teacher to a learner. It can be in a classroom. Second, sorry. It's getting stuck up. I don't know why.
Sir, it is fine, sir.
You're able to see the
Yeah,
screen
yeah,
now?
we are able to hear you, sir.
Presentation? No, right?
Presentation is also fine, sir. We are able to see.
Okay, okay,
It is,
okay, okay, okay. So now, see, what is the learning experience? So learning experience can refer to anything from a teacher to a student or a more generic way, a learner. So it can be the exchange of this can be in a classroom, it can be an online course, it can be through an instruction manual, self-learning instruction manual, it can be through PPTs, it can be through simulations. So overall, what we understand is instructional designers are considered the architects of learning experiences. The student should have the best learning experience, and what provides that learning experience is the curriculum. So what is the concept of a curriculum? How do you see it, the concept of curriculum? So this is how in a more a poetic way, how it is defined in a pragmatic way: tools in hands of artist to mold material according to his ideals in his studio. So who is the artist? Teacher is the artist. Who is the material? Student is the material. What is the studio? School or university. I think I forgot one here. What is the tool? The tool is the curriculum. There are four things here: tool, then there is an artist, then there is a material, then there is studio. Four things. So artist is a teacher, material is a student, studio is the school or university, and the tool in the hand is curriculum. Right? So now this is the way how you should see the curriculum. It is the fundamental tool which brings the brightest of the students out of your universities or colleges. So what are the different phases of curriculum process? Selection of aims, goals, and objectives. I'll go into detail of this. Selection of learning experiences, selection of content, then organization and integration of learning experiences, and then evaluation. Right? All these five constitute the different phases of curriculum process. Right? Why evaluation also comes into curriculum process? Because evaluation or assessments, they are intended to enhance the learning experience of a student. They are not intended to test the knowledge of a student. In the true spirit, an exam is a learning experience for the student. right? So now selection of aims, goals and objectives, selection of learning experiences, selection of content. These begin with your university goals, above which there are national goals, which speaks of NEP, right? Is your curriculum meeting the vision of the university goal? And is your vision of university meeting with the vision of the country? There are certain universities, I tell you, or colleges, for 15 years, they have got the same vision. During the establishment time, it is mandatory that a college or a university should have vision and mission. 15 years, 1 decade over, 2 decades over, 3 decades over, they don't change the vision and mission. They think it is some decorative piece which has to be placed in your principal's office or the different offices of the university, heads of the department offices, the dean's offices, director's offices. The vision and mission has to be placed. And we don't even care to look at it. Interestingly, the vision and mission of university has to be relooked and reworked, right, after a period of say 10 years, because the technology has been changing, the requirements of the world have been changing. So your vision, whatever is there, was framed 20 years back. It can't be the same vision now. So when the vision is changing, the curriculum should also change to meet that vision, right? The vision is for the students. Now, types of curriculum design, if you see, there is a subject design. You can design for discipline. Discipline means say for computer science, for mechanical or ECE, that's a discipline. Subject design, one specific subject, like yesterday, Dr. Shendu was mentioning about the design IoT. So one subject design, right? And then there is interdisciplinary design, and then there is a correlation design. Sorry, I think correlation design goes first, and then interdisciplinary design goes to the last. Interdisciplinary design is nothing but the holistic development, the multidisciplinarity, what we are speaking of, that is interdisciplinary design. So subject design. Let us have a comprehensive view. What is the subject design? That is the oldest and most familiar design for teachers and parents. Like I tell you an example, the university or a college, they want to develop a new course, say artificial intelligence or say Java program, whatever it is, a new course or design thinking. The curriculum is already there. You want to fit it into the curriculum. Fit it or force fit it, adjust one credit here, one credit there, or remove one subject, put it in. And who is going to design this subject? You're going to call some expert, say who is expert only in design thinking, and you tell you design a 5-module course for us. He is not provided with the overall curriculum. So his design of the course is going to be too specific, right? He forgets about or he doesn't have an understanding of the overall framework of the curriculum. He doesn't understand the quality of students. He doesn't understand the interests, the tendencies, the experiences which the students undergo, right? And overly content focused, which is what happens when you just design a subject. The second one is discipline design. So it focuses on academic disciplines, refers to specific knowledge learned through specific methods used by scholars to study specific fields. Means, say in computer science, how the curriculum should be, what should be the core subjects, what should be the elective subjects. I'm not speaking of the contents of each subject. I'm speaking of the courses. That's a discipline design. Then the correlation design in curriculum. Correlation design in curriculum. Now here, we spoke of subject design and discipline design, right? These are two specific. Subject is a stream specific, right? One subject is very subject to specific. Discipline is a stream specific, computers or mechanical or electrical or a civil, whatever it is. It is stream specific. It is also technical. But as curriculum design is a complete overview, right? There are curricular, I think I cannot use co-curricular because NEP has abandoned those words. Like it is all extended curricular, extended curricular activities, right? There are management subjects in it. right? So even if you say a discipline wise, say computer science, you have fixed the courses. But then a computer science student has to undergo certain courses in electronics. He has to undergo certain courses from management. He has to undergo certain courses from basic sciences, right? How are they going to fit into the discipline-wise subjects? Is the student able to connect that link between the subject what is learned in discipline or mathematics? Say mathematics 1, 2, 3. Probably JNTU or other colleges, they have up to third semester or fourth semester, they learn mathematics. It's hard to, if you catch a student and ask, why are you studying this mathematics course? He can't find a link because the teacher who comes doesn't give a connect of this course relevance to their particular subject. The essential necessity of a specific module in that given course, how it is going to be helpful in his discipline, he has no clue of it, right? That is because the curriculum is not designed well, the subject is not designed well. So the subject design has to fit into the discipline design has to sink into the overall curriculum design. Nowhere the student should feel that the chain link is missing. It's all a connected events. And then interdisciplinary curriculum. So this is just a correlation of the curriculum means the student should find a correlation between the different baskets to the main the theme, whatever he is learning. Then interdisciplinary curriculum, it integrates the related content, it draws around themes and integration, and it's also known as the holistic curriculum. So this is the comprehensive overview. When you have to design, you have to consider this into. So curriculum organization, if you look into how your curriculum should be organized, this is a very, very broad classification. Taking into the last item, interdisciplinary curriculum or the correlation. Correlation speaks of how they are related, the interdisciplinary curriculum part. So the curriculum has got two aspects to it. One is horizontal organization, another is vertical organization. Horizontal organization is within the semester, right? What are the various subjects that has to be placed? And vertical organization is as he's going from SEM 1 to SEM 8 or year 1 to year 8, how the courses are organized. Which course come first, which course comes second? Are all the electives properly placed? We may put some in fifth semester, certain set of 5 electives or 4 electives. 3 electives may not have a prerequisite, but 1 elective, if a student chooses, then he will have to face the heat of it. So vertically, when you organize, 2 things we have to take into consideration. In horizontal, scope and integration means within a semester, the kind of subjects, the courses which the student undergoes. A scope defines the breadth, length and breadth of it. Integration is, are all these courses are independent courses within a semester or they are interrelated courses. So that aspect has to be very carefully chosen while placing the courses. Then vertical organization, it speaks of continuity and sequence. Continuity is, like I'll tell you a school example, which we can easily correlate, or even say engineering. Say, because I hail from mechanical engineering, I can cite some examples from that. Say theory of machines, if you take, or machine design, if we take. So there is machine design 1, then there is machine design 2. So the contents of machine design 1 is in one, I mean the course machine design 1 is in one semester, machine design 2 is in the next semester. But what goes into the module of machine design 1? What goes into the module of machine design 2? Right? And then the sequence of it is also very essential. So the vertical organization is the placement of the different courses right from semester 1 to semester 8. Are they well placed? Right? It should be like joining the dots, and by the time the student completes the course, you should get a beautiful picture, complete picture of it. So the selection of goals, if you speak of, there is a proximate goal. When you design the curriculum or a subject, right, there is a proximate goal, means immediate goal, which has to be fulfilled. Then there is a mediate goal. Mediate means intermediate goal, which has to be fulfilled. And then there is an ultimate goal, which has to be fulfilled when you design a curriculum. So what are proximate goals? Can someone voice it out or text it in the chat box? Example of a proximate goal. Say for a subject or a curriculum, proximate goal, intermediate goal, and then the ultimate goal. Yes, someone has responded in the chat box. Example of a proximate goal. Yeah, proximate goal means immediate goal. Can we give an example of immediate goal? Yeah, Lalitendra has mentioned understanding the day-to-day class. Yeah, the immediate goal is correct. Okay, close to degree completion. Yeah. So proximate goal, say if you take a subject, a specific subject, the proximate goal actually changes for a discipline, for a subject, and for a curriculum. It is different for all this. So a subject has got a proximate goal, a subject has got a mediate goal, a subject has got ultimate goal. Right? Same way, the curriculum has got a proximate goal, it has got a mediate goal, it has got an ultimate goal. So when we design the course, right, the curriculum committee should be very clear before the subjects are chosen. What are set is the objectives, the goals are first set in. And to fulfill or meet those goals, the subjects are carefully picked up and put in the right place. It's a pick and place job of the curriculum designer. So approximate goal, let us say for a subject, is to have a conceptual clarity. That is the first thing. He should have the best learning experience. And what is the ultimate goal? What is the ultimate goal? Ultimate goal is the impact, which we have discussed. Dr. Sindhu has discussed probably a couple of sessions ago. He was speaking of the impact, what we are speaking of, the cultural change, what we are expecting in the universities or the colleges. That is the ultimate goal. So the curriculum has to bring the transformation, and that cannot be seen immediately. The ultimate goal, probably it can be seen after 5 years or 6 years, after the students have passed out, batches have passed out. So what is the immediate goal? Immediate goal is the progression of students, whether they're going to a job or this, right? The quality of the placements, how many students are turning into entrepreneurs, right? These are all the curriculum goals. So if these are the goals, is your curriculum facilitating that? Right? Some other university may have a different intermediate goal. I'm not saying everybody should have the example what I gave you, right? So some say a research intensive university may have a intermediate goal, like most of the students should, the percentage of students who go for PhD should be at least 50%. Right? So someone who has completed a UG program with a research degree, he should say go for a PhD program. Take it because that's one of the area. The other day we have seen there are only 15 researchers per lakh of Indian population. We have seen it's a lacuna. It's a drawback, serious drawback for us. The number of patents we have seen, right? The number of inventions, innovations we have seen, where India stands. So research has to be seriously taken. So now, how many people are going there? That can be a immediate goal for it. So each university, each college, based on the raw material, what it gets in, raw material means the quality of students, what it gets in, the cross-section of students, what it gets in. They have to fix this proximate goal, mediate goal, and the ultimate goal, right? Yeah. So moving forward, what are the criteria for content selection? The content of any specific course, if you take, it should be self-sufficient to the maximum possible extent. In the sense, module 1 or all the contents should be, or this course should not be dependent on the principles which come in the higher semester. It's something like we say, for now you remember this, in the higher semester you will come to know more about it, or the why it is happening you'll come to know in the higher semester. That kind of design is not. That means the courses are not placed in the right position in the curriculum. It should be self-sufficient. The same is the case of positioning of the electives. Some of the curriculums which I have seen when I visited for an external audit for some of the colleges, the curriculum, some of the electives, they are so randomly placed because they have to give 4 electives. They place electives in a so random way. And sometimes it so happens that the elective, whatever is placed, that has a prerequisite course, which is actually not offered. So in other words, students cannot pick it. The other one is significance of the content. Significance or the validity, relevance is to the current developments in the relevant field. Then the interest, it should invoke the interest of the student. It should not be outdated. It should speak of the utility, the learnability, and then the feasibility. All these aspects should go into the content when you design the course, module 1 to module 6. These aspects, so we should see whether these aspects are going into the design or no. So organizing the content. So now this is the selection of the content, right? And how do you organize? So there are 3 things when you have to organize the content: the sequencing of it, the continuity of it, and then the integration. Sequence, how module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5, or course 1 in semester 1, then course 2 in semester 2, then course 7 in, say, probably semester 5. How the sequencing is placed? Is the student experiencing the continuity? Is there a proper integration between these 2 courses, or they're all totally disintegrated? The integration aspect brings the holistic or multidisciplinarity into picture, right? So these 3 are important aspects. So see that these are the fundamental design principles which are equally applicable for a subject design or a discipline design or a curriculum design. All these 3: the sequencing, the continuity, the integration. These 3 things have to be taken into consideration. So now syncing the content with the curriculum. Suppose if you have designed a syllabus for a course, whether the content of that course is syncing into the curriculum or not. So the curriculum is linking all knowledge and experiences within curriculum plan. It emphasizes horizontal relations among the concept topics, involves all recognized domains of knowledge. So this is a very broad framework of the curriculum, right? Linking all knowledge and experiences within the curriculum. No subject means at the end of 4 years, student should not feel, I learned these subjects, but this one particular subject, I don't know why I studied. I just have to study and give the exam. He never knows the reason why that subject is there in the curriculum. And in fact, some of the college, most of the teachers and all, they themselves sometimes tell this subject is an outdated, but somehow the 1 or 2 credits have to match. So we have to offer some subjects to give this subject. So students should feel, the teacher should feel linking of all knowledge and experience within the curriculum plan, right? It also has to emphasize the horizontal relation. Horizontal means the horizontal relation, as I've told you earlier, the vertical and horizontal. So that aspect has to be covered. The other one, sequence. So what is sequence? 3 things we spoke of in the previous slide: sequence, continuity, and integration. So sequence is not just repetition of a skill or a concept, but deepening of it, so that each successive encounter builds on the preceding one. 2 builds on 1, 3 builds on 2. So the student is getting more and more deeper into the subject. What comes in semester 2 builds on what has come in semester 1. Right? It's not just repetition, what he has learned. Then continuity. Continuity speaks of the vertical manipulation. Right? It speaks of the vertical manipulation from semester 1 to semester 8. Right? So it is necessary to see that there is a returning or there is returning and continuing opportunity for these skills to be practiced and developed, and skills to continue to be brought into operation over time. And then integration. It refers to linking all types of knowledge. This is what we have seen here, right? So it refers to linking all types of knowledge and experiences contained within the curriculum plan, right? So this is what meets the curriculum when you integrate. Then the fulfillment of curriculum is done. Now the principles, sequencing principles, if we see, there are different sequencing principles. I'm not going to details of all the different sequencing principles. Some are world related, some are concept related, and some are inquiry related sequences, some are learning related sequences, and then utilization related sequences, right? So when you design a course, some modules are world related, some are concept related, some are inquiry related, learning related, and utilization related, right? So we have to understand what is the nature of course, which of this should take a more dose, right? In semester 1, let us say the course deals with more of concept related sequencing. So in semester 2, the next higher semester, how it has to relate. From concept, it has to straight away go to utilization related, then it is a very bad way of designing the curriculum. Sequencing is very important, right? So from world related, suddenly it may jump to learning related. Means the overall theme, if you see, there is more learning content in the syllabus than inquiry based content in the syllabus. So the unfolding of these courses as the student serves from semester 1 to semester 8 should be very, very logically placed. So in fact, if you see colleges like world ranked colleges like say MIT, Stanford and all, they have actually departments for curriculum designs. The curriculums are carefully crafted. They're carefully crafted, and they hire people who design the curriculums. They give their vision, missions first, right? It's not like so I will see in the I'll just give 2 examples. So previously we have seen the world related, concept related, right? I'll not go into this world related, concept related, then inquiry related, right? World related, again, there is a subclassification, like one is space, other one is time, other one is physical attributes, right? And then concept related, if we go, then relation, sophistication, and one more concept, like 2 or 3 different concepts. Same way, like inquiry has got logic of inquiry and then empirical inquiry, right? Again, classifications, but then I will go into 2 things. One is utilization related, other one is learning related. So utilization related sequence, if you see, 2 things are important. One is the procedures involved in utilizing that. Second one is anticipated frequency of use. You are bringing some subject, let us say matrix. In mathematics, there is a topic called matrices, or there is a topic called mathematical induction, principle of mathematical induction. In a given module, you have dealt 2 units on this. But what is the utility of that particular course in the discipline what he has chosen? How frequently he has to use that? Are we really taking into account while designing this subject or the course or the discipline or curriculum? So these things have to go in place. The other one is learning related sequence. In learning related sequence, the first thing comes is the student's interest. Not just the student interest, are we keeping the student interest? The second one is development. Third one is difficulty. Internationalization means thinking our curriculum with the global requirements. That's what it means. Then familiarity of the student with the respective topic. Is he already familiar with it? And then empirical prerequisites. Right? So these things have to go into the learning sequences. So now let us, I'll shift the focus to the learning part now, because that is what actually plays an important role. So learning objectives should be congruent with the course elements to be impactful and meaningful. So this is called magic triangle of learning. Learning objectives are there, then learning activities are there, and then learning evaluation. All these three should sync into the theme of the curriculum. So course design begins with laying down the objectives and then building the content around them for maximum relevance. Typically, what we do is most of the colleges, first you have got a syllabus copy. Now, as per say NBA or NAC or whatever it is, accreditation body, you need to calculate COs, POs and all. The syllabus copy should have COs because the previous triple student satisfaction survey, if we see, some of the questions will be related. Are you familiarized with the course outcomes? Are you familiarized with this X, Y and Z? So now, course is already designed initially without any learning objectives or course outcomes. Suddenly we have to place them in that. So we create a space there and fit in the objectives. That is the reverse way of working is never going to fulfill the vision of our university. So first objectives are designed. To meet this objective, I choose my content. So a formula for writing learning objectives, if you see, straight away go once here. I'll straight away go to the formula. So learning objective, what does it do? It defines or set boundaries on what learners should know or should be able to know at the end of the course, right? Which they are not able to do before. So how do you come out with a learning objective? Because learning objective or a course objectives or a program objectives, they are laid down first, then your curriculum is designed, then your syllabus content is designed, then your evaluation scheme is designed. So your objective learning objective, right, should have one measurable action verb, it should have one outcome, it should have one specific area of applicability. Three things once again: one measurable action verb, it should have one outcome, then it should have one specific area of applicability. Three things. Now let us see, for example, this is a learning objective. By the end of this course, the learner will be able to write precise and measurable learning objectives for e-learning courses, right? So in this, the most important part of learning objective is that success can be measured. Now first, we see write. What is write? It's a verb, an action verb. Measurable learning objectives. Second thing we told, it should be measurable. And third one, it should be the specific area of applicability for e-learning courses. The learner should be able to write measurable learning objectives. So this is an action verb. This is a measurable quantity. And then for what area? E-learning courses. So now, like yesterday, Dr. Shendu was mentioning, right, a version of how we identify or the course objectives, how we frame out, right? So that has to be reflected, right, in the program objectives, the objectives of the curriculum. As I told you, objectives of the curriculum or goals of the curriculum, as I mentioned, does your curriculum has a goal? It is not same as the vision and mission of the university. The curriculum itself, as I told, proximate goal, mediate goal, and then the ultimate goal. We just have to see whether our curriculum has these goals as such. Right, the learning activities, if at all you look into, the audio video based learning activities, which we can speak of. Right, then animation based to give the best learning experience, because as I've mentioned, instructional design or a curriculum design, it speaks of design, development, and then delivery. So this aspect is the delivery aspect. Initially, we have seen the design aspect, then the development aspects we have seen. What are the development aspects? What should be the sequence? The learning sequence, a content, what it should have, world related, inquiry related, right? This is all the development part. How do you develop a course, right? The horizontal, vertical sequencing, right? The third one is the delivery part, right? So now we are looking at the delivery part. So when we are looking at the delivery part, the NEP document, it speaks of bringing in the AVGC into the as a part of teaching learning experience. So AVGC, we have already seen audio, video, gamification, and comics, right? So these four elements have to be brought into the delivery part, right? So learning activities are all the course assets used to deploy the best learning experience, right? So then the part of assessment is also the delivery part. Delivery part is the learning experience, as I've told you, right? The learning experience, the examination or the evaluation is also a part of learning experience. The very purpose, the NEP document, if you see, the very purpose of exam is, or evaluation is to give the best learning experience. Sorry. To give best learning experience. So in fact, the document, the NEP document emphasizes to remove high-stake examinations and go for the continuous assessment part. So let us look into the fundamental difference between assessment and evaluation. So assessment is a measurement tool. Measurement tool for whom? Measurement tool for the teacher and the student, both of them. Teacher knows how his delivery is. Student, and he can also understand how the students are receiving it, right? And it is non-judgmental. The star mark is placed there. It's non-judgmental. It is just a tool to help you understand the student's needs better. It is an opportunity for self-reflection assessment, and it is an ongoing process. So it answers the questions. What are the questions? How much did the students learn? How well did they learn? How well was it taught? The giving part and receiving part are measured using an assessment process, whereas evaluation process is a judgment tool. So are the assessment and evaluation patterns well balanced in your curriculum to give the best learning experience? What is the weightage of the assessment part? What is the weightage of evaluation part? The NEP document speaks of remove the high-staked end examinations. Now say 80% or 70% weightage is there for end examination, whereas the continuous assessment part has only 20% or 30%. Right? So is it balanced? Is it uniform for all the courses, or is it variable for different courses? Right? Let us say, for example, ethics and values, or say life skills, or law for engineers, or design thinking. These kinds of courses, the evaluation pattern 80%, 20%. I mean, the internal assessment is 20% and external exam is 80%. It's a very bad choice. So the curriculum should not be so rigid. The assessment pattern should not be so rigid. The flexibility should be given to the teacher as a part of good instructional design or a curriculum design, which is what NEP policy document speaks of. The academic autonomy is completely given to the teachers. So the examples of assessments, if we speak of, right, is submitting a teacher feedback. Then you've got outlining the ideas of a lecture using a thought exchange. Right? You can have means a group discussion among the students, and see it because the purpose is not judgmental. It to help you understand these students better and help you understand yourself better. Right? So a teacher overlooks a discussion between the students regarding a specific topic in the subject. That will help the students. The quality of debates or the quality of arguments which the students put forward will help the teacher understand better. Demonstrating their understanding using a concept map, then having an in-class discussion, having a peer review, submitting survey reports, and then clicker questions, rapid questions, right? Sudden questions. So these are the examples of assessment. So examples of evaluation, if you look into a final exam paper, a midterm exam paper, then a final case study report, right, based on which the student is judged properly, a recital or a final, presentation over which the students is judged based on the understanding. So now a proper balance of these two have to go into your curriculum, right? And then elements of instructional design, if you see analysis of learners' needs, right? Different versions of this, like we have already seen. We're running short of time. So instructional design models, I'll go through quickly before I can conclude. So instructional design models, there are different instructional design models. AD model is one, Assure model, then Gagne's 9-event of instruction model, then Merrill's principles of instruction model, and then the Kemp instructional design. So I'll go through some of this, 1, 2, 3, right? Now, AD model of instructional design, it's an acronym. It stands for analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. So all the elements have went into it. Analysis is the initial analysis. It's not the course analysis. It's not the what is the prerequisite? What actually led you to put this course in your curriculum? Then you go for the design. Then you go for development. Implementation and evaluation is the delivery part, which we have seen. Instructional design deals with three things. One is design, development, and delivery, right? So these two actually come into the design part. Analysis and design, they come into the design part, right? Analysis is the typically analysis of the need, right? So this and this come into the design part. This is the development part of the curriculum. Implementation and evaluation comes into the. So all the models, more or less, if you see, they actually can be segregated or categorized into these three, right? But seemingly it may look like a shadow or a projection of the same concept in a different plane of projection. It may seem like that. The other one is Assure model. So I'm not going to the details of each of this. Again, if we go into the details of this, the analysis, the design, each has got again sub-classifications, right? So that is left to you to rummage the websites. Then Assure model is analyze learner characteristics, then state objectives, select, modify or design materials, utilize materials, then require learner's response and evaluation, right? So state objectives, analyze learner's characters. This is again the design part. Utilize materials, require learner. This is all the development part. Then the finally evaluation part or delivery part. All these three things part, I mean the design part, the delivery part, and the development part, all three will be covered. So the Assure model, you can see here, typically for a semester, before semester, if you have to do the analysis, the best way is analyze the learners. Means who are your audience? What is the demographic? What are the entry competencies? What are the learning styles? Before the semester begins, you have to do this job for giving a best learning experience. Are my students, all the students, 80% or 90% of the students are from same state? Or no? Or I have got students from 10 different states of the country. Or I have got students from 3 or 4 different countries. What are the demographics of the students? What are their entry competencies? Some students are admitted through, say, state entrance. Into the same class, some students are admitted through the examination with the college sets. Into the same class, there are students who might enter using an IIT JEE rank. So all these people have got different entry competencies. And what are their learning styles? So this has to be analyzed before the semester begins. Then state the objectives. So once you analyzed this, then the objectives, the course rubrics, they keep on changing semester to semester based on this. In the next semester, if 80% of your students are from the same state, or 70% of them or 80% of them cleared one kind of examination, then your course rubrics may change, right? So the objectives are based on the preliminary analysis. Then select methods, media, and material. What do instructions use? The kind of material you need, right? So all this has to be then utilize media and then materials. and then require learner participation, and then at the end of semester, how you evaluate, and then the cycle should close, evaluate, and then if revision is required, you again go to the analysis part, revise it for the next semester, same course. And Gagne's 9 events of instruction. So this is also, if you look into it, the 3 elements, design, development, and the delivery part, uh, are taken into consideration, right? Assess performance, right? Providing feedback, practice, guidance, providence, present content, right? These are all come into the delivery part. Prior to the learning is the development part. Inform the learner objectives is the design part, right? So now overall, if you have to summarize whether model 1 you take or whether model 2 you take or whether model 3 you take, they speak of a common theme. What is a common theme? That it classifies the teachers into 2 types. One is a wham bam teacher, the other one is steady state teacher. So who is a wham bam teacher? He comes there, jumps right onto the topic, he gets into the subject matter, he delivers the content, send everybody home. My job is done. Right? Jumps right in there, he goes to subject matter, deliver the content, chalo, gar chalo. Contrary to this, a steady state teacher we are speaking of. Who is a steady state teacher? Opening as a setup. He doesn't direct straight away jump into the subject. He has informal discussions of the curriculum, helps the students understand. Like there is a concept called 0 hour. Some of the foreign universities, they have a concept of 0 hour. In the zero, like in fact, in our university, we have adopted that concept of 0 hour, where in the first hour of the lecture, we don't speak anything of the subject. We only speaks of the course objectives, the program objectives, how this maps with this, what are the action verbs, by the end of this, what are you going to learn, how the the assessments and evaluations, what are they, how they are linked up into with this. The student gets a complete clear understanding of this, right? Opening as a setup, and then create a receptive state for learning, and then put the participants at ease, and then make them open to learning. Till now the teaching has not started. Make them open to learning. After this, the teaching will start. This is a steady state teacher. Then this is the opening. He has closed the class, and then for the closing the session, also closing as a form of set down, and then he tapers the logic to a content to a logical conclusion. He completes the learning cycle, and then debrief and discuss, then repeat and review. Then he closes. This is steady state teacher. So this kind of approach gives the best learning experience to the students. So this is what a graphical representation. There's an opening, then there's a main body which is a steady state, and then the set down, close, right? So for this to happen, we need to have a vigilant observer. Vigilant observer, how the student is phasing through the different stages of the curriculum, how the student is phasing through different phases of evaluation, right? The sequence of chain reactions, how they are triggering off, all this have to be very carefully analyzed, observed, right? So let us say, for example, just guess these moods. What would you use to describe how this person is feeling? So when you enter a class, or when you collect the opinion of the students on a curriculum, because usually we collect student feedback on the curriculum. Very in our university we collect the feedback on the curriculum part. Very few universities collect feedback on the curriculum. At the end of final year, feedback on the curriculum, we I mean get the feedback on the course, right? Direct assessment, indirect assessment part, and all those things we have seen. So when we gather the students in a classroom or anything like that, and we ask, or the toppers or the program representatives, we bring them, we ask them about a curriculum, they start looking at each other's faces and they start laughing. Some people, they don't want to respond. That itself should give us an indication of the subtle signals what the students give us. So now let us say if you see like this, we can understand that they're having a happy time, right? The subtle signals are given. And this guy, if you see, he's really frustrated with the office politics. And this fellow, he is really thoughtful, right? So this one, probably most of us have an experience of this kind of scene at our houses, right? So this is what a teacher has to undergo through the process of giving the learning experience, because ultimately everything boils down in giving the best learning experience to the student. So now the NEP part, if you look into, we spoke of the learning part. Now, how to give that learning? What are the different modes or aspects of this learning? One is the e-learning part, right? Then there is the micro learning. We'll see what those are, right? I'll quickly conclude it. Then there's the mobile learning. Then the gamification, blended learning, right? The micro learning, if we see, micro learning is typically 2-minute videos or 3-minute videos on a subject. Very short videos. Like you have, what is this? YouTube shorts, right? A minute or two, because the attention span of the students is sometimes very less, not just because they are less attentive, but sometimes they are on a go while traveling in a bus or traveling in a train or a crowd moving from one block to another block. You just want to have a quick overview of the topic. So micro learning helps that, right? So these are some of the advantages and disadvantages or drawbacks. I can't say disadvantages, drawbacks of it. I'll not go in much detail into that. And then the gamification part should consider these things into picture, and ultimately reward should be there for the student. Otherwise, the game has got no fun in it. All right. The reward can be a very small thing, or it can be like a bigger thing. So what comes under the gamification part is the hackathons, macathons. They all come under the gamification part. Challenge, right? So in the process, it forms a learning experience. Right. So as a part of curriculum, I've seen one university in probably 6th semester or so, the student participation in hackathon is mandatory, which has got 1 credit. Whether he participates in the hackathon within the university or within the college or some other college outside, that is all immaterial. He has to participate. It is mandated. Now, if you see in that case, 100% of the students undergo or have an experience of participating in that hackathon. But today, how many of us can say the students in our university, by the time he graduates, maybe hardly 5% or 2% of the students might have undergone the experience of participating in a hackathon. So it is made a part of curriculum, right? And then the mobile-based learning we spoke of, right? Why mobile learning, some of the advantages and disadvantages of it. And then blended learning, the advantages and disadvantages of it, right? So blended learning models are there again. Flipped model is there. What is the flipped model, right? Learners engage with online content before participation, and then rotational model you have, right? That is, learners rotate or flip between or change between face-to-face and online instruction. Then enriched virtual model you have got, right? Then face-to-face driver model, right? And then finally the flex models. I don't want to go into the details of all these models. Time already 1:15 we have reached. So now e-learning also, we have got different learning solutions. So we can use some of this or all of this across the subject or through a curriculum. So finally, what I can say is the instructional design or the curriculum design that has to be proper, so that the student, he will face the or get the giant leap of crossing the technology barrier, right? And then he emerges a successful student, which can be worked out at all levels, from school level to universities and adult training facilities, right? And then the final part, which very important part, instructional designers will be responsible for 30 to 40% of learner success. So what instructional designer is doing? Designing a curriculum, designing a discipline, the courses in a discipline, designing a subject. All these come under part of instructional design, right? So different elements, what are there, have to be very carefully taken, very carefully chosen, so that it will bring the ultimate success for the student, which is what the intent of all the educational universities, organizations, right? So let us all try to come out with the best curriculums to meet or fulfill the needs of our national education policy. So with that, I would call it off. Thank you all very much. So this is my contact details and all. If someone do want to contact for a later interaction or anything like that, you can please use this email. Yeah. So thank you all. Yeah, over to you, madam.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Now the session is open for the participants to give their valuable feedback. Participants may please raise their hands. We will unmute you. I request all the participants. Already the message was being sent to you. Just raise your hand to give your feedback. Sorry. M. Venkata Krishna Reddy has raised the hand.
Okay.
Please unmute him.
Good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You're
audible, please.
First of all, let me thank the speakers of all the sessions, particularly Sir Ramashrikant Garu. All the sessions were very informative, and you kept the concept and content very clean and very simple. It was really useful for us. You have given a lot of insights on outcome-based education as well as the net policies. Thank you for your informative sessions, sir.
Thank you.
And let me thank the organizers of this. Let me thank.
Yeah, others, please mute your mic.
Let me thank the organizers of this FDP. So you have maintained very well all the sessions, and a huge crowd of 2,500 members were there. You maintained very well all the sessions, and thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. To whom you have unmuted? Yeah, I think they have unmuted.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yep, sir, please introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, myself, Dr. Naresh, ma'am, Department of MBA from Bala Institute of Technology and Science, ma'am. Really, I congratulate your effort, ma'am, whatever you have taken to conducting two weeks of FTP, ma'am. And especially you are selected as the main keynote speakers, ma'am. Really, they are very eminent in the subject, whatever the content they delivered, ma'am. Really, even our colleges and even having MBA and everything also. But based upon the session, even I'm able to give so many inputs to my faculty. How best you can go for that better way of making Bloom taxonomy and how to making our COPO mapping and attainment, ma'am. Really, it is a very wonderful session, ma'am. I'm expecting the same kind of session in future also. If you given an opportunity, even our more number of faculty will join in this, ma'am. And really, I thank the speakers who have elaborated very well, ma'am. Because whatever they are given a PPT, even I have taken some screenshot also, ma'am. It may be used for where I can deliver the same kind of things in other. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Actually, when I have attended the session, even I felt the same. So though we are following the NBA, NAC and everything, there was a lot of gap between the perfection and what we were doing. So I felt everybody should get this knowledge. So that's the reason like we have organized this program. Thank you so much for acknowledgement.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah. Off to you, ma'am.
Yeah, those who have raised the hands, they can please share the feedback.
Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Dr. Pasmathi Srinivasrao from St. Anne's College of Engineering and Technology. Ours is NBA accreditation is there, NAC accreditation is there, and ours is also autonomous. But I am IKS coordinator in our college. So when I attended this session, especially Chandu sir yesterday explained about attainment calculations. So most of the times we are very much confused with how to calculate these attainment calculations and all those things. But really, it is a wonderful session attending attainment calculations and all these things. Today, Rama Srikanth sir, what explained about NEP 2020 is really so well and informative. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you for your good words. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. First of all, I would like to give the thanks to all the team. First of all, I wanted to saluting all the team members for organize such a unique and information FDP, ma'am. Some characteristics of the FDP are this FDP is very unique. It's about subjects and timings are very suitable and reliable to all us faculties. They have given very informative and clear representation about the subject. They are well knowledgeable and the lectures were very interesting, informative, and these are again these are just like musics. We are again and again we wanted to listen them, and I would request all the team members that organize this FDP such a for unique subject for not for 2 weeks. It should be 1 month, ma'am, for for evening at least 2 hours. And again, this overall this FDP is very standard and very knowledgeable, and I would like to hear such a FDP again and again, ma'am. In short, for 2 minutes, 2 words, I have to say that north, west, west, east, or northwest, east. Our CVR FDPs are best. Again, I am saluting to all the team. Thank you. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, ma'am. Really, you have cheered up all. I think all the
Thank
team
you.
members are still they are smiling. Thank you for bringing a smile on our faces. Yeah. Next participant, please.
Hello. Hi, my name is Carrie Chartier, and I am from the US, but I have been teaching in India for about 6 years now. And I generally focus on teacher training in the rural schools. I appreciate you allowing me to join in on this class. I'm currently studying for my doctorate in education in curriculum and instruction. So this was very helpful for me. And as I've been studying and doing my research for my course, I actually was researching the NEP and the changes that need to be made at the school level. So I'm currently working on some curriculum change at the school level, simply for an assignment for my doctorate. But then as my doctoral capstone projects, similar to dissertation, but with practical application, I will be working on some curriculum change with some schools in the rural Northeast. So this is very helpful and useful information as I give feedback and instruction to those teachers and how they can improve the instruction. So once again, thank you so much for all of the information, and thank you for letting me be part of this session.
Thank you, ma'am. hope our FDP will help you in your research. Yeah, next participant, please. Actually, we would like to hear you personally, so we have arranged such session.
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Dr. Ritu Tevatia. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Dr. Ritu Tevatia from Amrapali University, Uttarakhand. And first of all, I congratulate organizers for just organizing such a wonderful session, ma'am. Ma'am, here in North, actually, we are not having NEP sessions like this. And I'm so much thankful. I just went through the link and I just clicked on it accidentally, I must say. And it was really, really, really very good session. I got to know so many things. Here in this region, we are applying NEP this time only. So I have requested sir, the resource person sir, to please spare some time for us too. We also want the same from this region, so many people can be benefited from it. And ma'am, thank you so much. It was just because of you people we got to know about sir se hame milwane ke liye. We are very much thankful to you. They are like, I don't know. I just told my vice chancellor sir that he knows the crux of everything. NEP. We just read the document, but sir knows, both the resource person knows each and everything about it. So I'm really, really thankful, ma'am, and I would like to congratulate you people. And I would like to request, sir, please, sir, accept my request for conducting the same kind of FDP for my university. I'll be very thankful. I'm waiting for your reply. Thank you so very
Yeah,
much.
sure. Thank you so much. As I mentioned, like 6 or 7 invitations are already in the pipeline. Let me check the schedules and all.
Sir, I'll be
Definitely.
waiting. I'm waiting. If you
Sure.
give me time 3 or 4 months later, I'll be waiting for you only.
Sure, madam. Sure. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your kind
so very much,
words.
sir. So you're very good. Actually, I have never seen a person like having this kind of knowledge, and you both have explained it in so simple way that anybody can understand this. The way you delivered was excellent. Thank you, sir.
Madam, I totally agree with you. Sir is like a perfection, like every slide he was preparing, and that kind of delivery, the fluency, everything. Like I totally
And ma'am,
agree.
you managed very well, and your smile is so sweet, ma'am. It makes my day every day. Thank you so very much.
The next
Thank you, ma'am.
participant, please.
Okay.
So thank you so much, sir. So now, like as I was mentioning, sir, really like it was a wonderful journey with you and also Chandu, sir. It's a great pleasure, sir, to have you. And maybe in the CVR also, like this is the first time we had so many participants. And we could start the session every day punctually, sir, where there was no deviation at all. From your side, there was a lot of dedication and commitment, and sometimes even you were like helping me a lot. So my accolades to all the enthusiastic participants who made this FDP vibrant and a remarkable event. I congratulate and greet all the participants for their successful completion of the program. I express my sincere thanks to Dr. P.S. Rama Srikant sir, Director, Ranks and Accreditation, and Dr. D.S. Chandu sir, Assistant Director, Ranks and Accreditation, WITS AP, for accepting our kind invitation to be the resource person for this FDP and for their knowledge sharing and overall contribution towards the event. My sincere advice to all the participants at this juncture is to utilize whatever learned in the NEP when you are going with the NBA documents and also NAC and also understanding the NEP 2020, the future of our education system. I express my gratitude to our college chairman, Dr. Raghava V. Cherubutti, for his encouragement and support in organizing this FDP. I thank Principal, Head EC Department, my colleagues and the staff who have supported directly and indirectly in making this event a grand success. Sir, would you like to add anything, sir? Srikant, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, madam, for the initiative. So I was just reflecting on, see, the number of participants has crossed 2,000. So initially, your request was to conduct an offline session in your campus. So
Yes,
we thought for a small portion of the people to be benefited, but then because of holding the online session, you got people from across the country and 2 or 3 other countries as well. So probably I think the decision, I don't know, like it is our inability to conduct an offline because we are fixed with our academic schedules and all actually has benefited more people. Had it been an offline session, only probably your college people, or we could have accommodated hardly 100 or 200 people. So in that way, I thought I'm really happy that most of the people were able to take the message. There are many points which were in the NEP document, which most of us are not familiar, the kinds of resources which are available to implement the NEP. So we tried to present our best. So the impact of this, all the while we was talking of outcome-based education part, the impact is now how well we all take this, because most of us are in responsible positions as the teachers, as the principals, as heads of the departments. So try to speak with your managements or our higher ups. Let us see how best we can slowly seep this into our curriculum for the realizing the objectives of NEP. So with that, I would thank each and every participant, because I always repeat it, and now also I don't hesitate to repeat. So one can be an effective speaker only when there's an effective listener. So I thank all of you for being very attentive during all the sessions. Yeah, so wish you all the best. Yeah, have a good time ahead.
Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, Chandu sir, if he is available. Sir, we would like to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Hello. Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Firstly, I thank you, the organizing members of CVR College, for bringing up such a eventful session on faculty development program on OBE and NEP 2020. Coincidentally, we had this FDP for 2 weeks, and exactly this was the time when we are also having this Shiksha Saptaha organized by the Ministry of Education for 1 week, exactly from July 22nd to July 26th, commemorating the 4-year anniversary of NEP 2020. So the Ministry of Education was giving 1 week importance, or 1 week entire duration on AP 2020, but we all together have been here for 2 complete weeks. So that shows our dedication and interest towards this national education policy. So also, as ma'am has pointed out, Ritu ma'am has pointed out, especially for a speaker like me, I have learned a lot from this talk. That the other day also I was talking to Professor Rama Srikant, where I have told that it has given me an awareness that we have to create this awareness of national education policy all over the nation. So thank you, everyone who have participated and given all your time throughout these 2 weeks. And thank you, ma'am, and sir, also for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, sir. Thank you all the participants. Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day.